A lot of moving parts, so let's get ready. Okay, well, thank you all for joining me this evening again. I am Raquel Daly, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about the importance of exploration. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right on in. So, what we're going to talk about today, we are going to talk about how to clarify your values. We are going to, let me just stop this really quickly and make sure that we are recording the right screen. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to clarify your values, identifying resources to really identify what are those things that you do really well and that you're interested in, and then talk about steps to navigate your exploration journey. All right, now, first thing to chat about tonight is a value. What are your values? So, when you think about what is a value is an abstract judgment of what a person considers to be good, right, or worthwhile. Understanding what you value is an important step in self exploration. Okay. Now, it's really important when you consider those things that you value to start beginning to think about those now. So sometimes you think like once you're older, once you have a career, once you maybe have a family, that's the time to consider what you really value regarding a career or professional or experiential learning experience. But really, the time to identify those things is right now. So, this can help you better understand what might be a good fit for you regarding any of those opportunities that you decide to pursue in the future. This can also can and will change. So, what you value today has changed drastically, even from what you valued at the start of the pandemic, possibly. I know it has for me. Um, and that was only a few years ago. So this is an ongoing conversation for you to have with yourself. So really leaning into what it is that you value today, September 5th, 2022, and being patient with yourself and listening to yourself because that value or those values may change even between September 5th, 2022 and September 5th, 2023. Okay. So a quick exercise I want you to do. I'm actually going to go ahead and drop this image into the chat. I know it may be a little tiny for some of us. In the chat, you will see this image at the bottom if you need to make it any bigger. But read through these values. I'm just going to give you about 5 minutes for you to go ahead and read through these values. This is not for you to have to read through all of them now, but just whatever you can get through in 5 minutes. And then write down 3 of them that are most important to you personally, again, today, September 5th, 2022. This can really guide your view, your lens that you use to identify different opportunities that are a right fit for you. So just take a few minutes, write down the top 3 that are most important to you right now, and then we'll continue with our conversation. Okay. Okay, so we've had a few minutes to think through some values, okay? If you feel comfortable, if you can please share one of the values that you've selected in the chat, and really use these values to help guide how you think about potential opportunities in the future, okay? So we have justice, which is awesome, relationships, great. Any other ones anyone would like to share? Altruism, yes. Autonomy, huge. Community, great. And you see how these values are differing. So there is no right or wrong answer. It's just what you value right now and what's most important to you. And use that as a measure to really guide what your interests are and how those align with your values in the future. Okay, great. Now, identifying your strengths and your interests, okay? So there are some questions that you should consider when you're thinking about. One of the main questions I get is, okay, I don't really know where to start, okay? So one place to start is considering what are the things that you value the most. career, professional, experiential learning experiences. The next thing you want to think about are, what are the things that I do well and what are the things that I'm interested in? Okay, so some questions to consider. What are your likes and dislikes? If you did not have to consider money at all, what would your dream job be and why does it appeal to you? Okay, what sort of work environment is most ideal to you? So, you all are in a special place where, for the last several years, you've experienced many different types of work environments. So, that could be a completely virtual work environment, some of you hybrid. Now we're having more experiences with working and completing projects and tasks in person. So all of those experiences really have helped you to see kind of what different things might work for you and what different things don't. If you have been like, okay, I have loved this working alone, it's really made me super productive, then maybe you like more of a virtual work environment or a more autonomous work environment. If you thought like, I enjoyed some of the projects that I've done on my own, but I really need that interaction with a team, then you know that a more collaborative work environment might be a better fit with you, or maybe a hybrid environment where you do some things on your own, but then you also might do some things together. Okay. So those are some things you want to think about as well. What subjects absolutely captivate your attention? So as you're going through your classes, what interests you, what appeals to you, what resonates with you? What do you inherently do well and enjoy? Are you the person who always does something for maybe your friend group? Maybe that's a way of identifying some of those things that you do well. And what are you looking for in a career? So we do also offer self-assessments through the Matthews Center for Career Development. We have advisors who are trained in Myers-Briggs, which is MBTI, which you all took when you came to Davidson. It was utilized to help you find your roommate selections. And this is a preference test that's represented by a 4-letter code. There's also StrengthsFinder, which provides you with your top 5 talent themes or the things that you do naturally well and how you can best utilize those things. There's also the Strong Interest Inventory, which gives insights into a person's interests related to careers. So there are also more formal assessments that you can take through our office and then speak with an advisor who is certified to walk you through what the results of those assessments mean. Okay. Now, be ready to explore. So you really want to use your first 2 years wisely. And this is your opportunity to explore different classes and gain an appreciation of the different things that really resonate with you, really bring you joy. And then for those that you're like, I absolutely do not want to ever do that again. And if I never do that again, I'd be very happy. Those are great too, because it's identifying the areas or the things that you don't like. And those are great for providing clarity as well. If you have already gone through 2 years at Davidson and you're still trying to figure out what you want to do, this is not a problem. Again, you really want to just lean into finding those things that really get you excited. And that's a great place to start when thinking about what you'd like to do with the rest of your career beyond Davidson. Also, career exploration does not happen in a bubble. Okay, so you really want to think about what are some of those things that you can do to explore that can help you in all the ways that are possible to build those connections and those networks. So what we're going to do right now is a little activity. And in this activity, I'm going to put you in 1-minute breakout rooms and you're going to find someone who has something on this list. So here is the list here. Let me know if you cannot see the list. It says find someone who, okay? And then you're going to look here on this list here. And again, I'm going to stop and just reshare just to make sure we're recording the right screen. And so you're going to have 1 minute to speak with your partner and find someone who has one of these. At the end, I will identify who has made the connection that will ultimately lead to their dream job. Okay, so when you're networking with people, one thing you want to consider is you never know which one of those networks will help you find the opportunity that you're looking for. Okay, so we're going to take a few minutes, do some networking, and come back and see who has been able to find their dream job through that one connection that they made. Okay, So I'm going to go ahead and place you into breakout rooms. Okay, hold on one second. And let's see, there are 7 of you. So we'll do 3 breakout rooms. Okay, it will automatically assign you. And in that room, I will give you 1 minute and you're going to see who in your room has these specific things. And then we will leave that room and you'll join one other room. And then we'll come back and see who's made the right connection. All right, here we go. So please go ahead and join your room. Okay. Now let's continue on and talk about where do you get started. So let me make sure that we're sharing here. Okay, so now where do you get started? We've already talked about identifying your values, okay? We've talked about identifying your strengths, things that you do innately well, things that you're interested in, having an open mind, ready to explore. And now let's talk about some of the more logistical ways to get started. Okay, so first by analyzing a job description. So you can see, look at any job description, you can look at a job description and Handshake, and you can see which of those jobs might appeal to you. Then you go through that description. Why does it appeal to you? Which aspects of it appeal to you? We know that statistically, even people who love their job only love 60 to 70% of what they're doing. So seeing what are those things that you like about that job description, and maybe what are some of those things that you wouldn't mind doing, but that may not be very interesting to you. Also attending conferences or joining professional associations. So we have funding available in our office if there are conferences or associations that you'd like to attend or to join. So you can also apply for that. Building a professional network. So similar to the activity that we just did, you never know which of those connections is going to be the one that helps you get the opportunity that you're looking for. Okay, so casting your nets far and wide. Discuss building through Matthew Center workshops, which you're participating in now, and trainings. Okay. Job search strategies, so different ways to go about your job search, different resources that you can use. For example, in Handshake, we have many, many, many resources available to you as you're searching for different opportunities. LinkedIn profile, we have videos to help you set up your LinkedIn. We have, of course, advisors who are able to help you set up your LinkedIn. Lynda.com is also another great resource to provide career development type of resources or professional experience resources that are available to you. Practice mock interviewing. I absolutely recommend that that's something that you do prior to actually needing an interview. So we have a lot of students who it's the week of their interview and they're like, okay, I'm ready to practice. But the more you can practice in advance, the more comfortable you'll feel when the time comes. Resume and cover letter writing. Again, we have resources for this in Handshake, but we have advisors who are able to help you with this as well. And remembering that all of the skills that you have gained, they are transferable. So even if you have done babysitting, you have the learned responsibility, organization, you've kept whoever you were babysitting alive for any period of time. And those are skills that can be transferred. If you have waited tables, you've learned customer service, you've learned how to be thorough. So different skills that you have learned over the course of the things that you've done that you can then transfer over to another opportunity or experience that you're looking to gain. Alrighty. And any questions? If you have any questions, you can go ahead and unmute now, or you can write them in the chat, and we can go ahead and look over some of those. I'll go ahead. If you have any questions. And if you don't have any questions, that is also fine. You can feel free to email me if you have any questions that pop up later, but also we do have drop-ins available Monday through Friday. They are 8:30 to 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day with the exception of Tuesday. On Tuesday, we begin our drop-ins at 12:45. So if any questions pop up and you're not able to schedule an appointment or you're just in the union and you're like, oh, I really would like to know the answer to this, you can feel free to stop by our drop-ins. And also, you can, of course, set up an appointment with any of our advisors to help either with the assessments that we've discussed today. We have our next Monday Mobilizer, which will be on the 12th. I put the link in the chat there. And that is to specifically dig into some of the assessments that we offer. So if you think you might be interested but would like to know more, please join us on the 12th for our next Monday Mobilizer. And yeah, we are here. We are happy to help you. So anytime you need any advice, please check out, of course, the resources in Handshake, but feel free to stop by our office anytime between 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. and we'd be happy to help you. Okay. All righty. Well, thank you so much. And everyone, you have a great evening.